Have you ever thought about what makes a square a square? You may have already learned about squares in math class, but today we're going to talk about squares. And so, what I want you to do is to pause this video, go look around the room that you're in, and try to find something that is a square. Bring it back here because we're going to talk more about your square. Now, look at your square and try to make some observations. What do you think makes a square a square? A square is a shape that has four sides, and all four sides are the same length. A square is also a rectangle. So, rectangles often you see them look like this in your textbook. But a square is a special kind of rectangle because it has the same length on all four sides. Now, let's think about whether certain shapes are a square. Sometimes it's easier to determine than others. What about this? Is this a square? Is this a square? What about this? Is this a square? And this? Is this a square? A square number is a number where when we count out that number with counters or objects and then arrange them into a rectangle, we can make a square so that we have the same number of counters on each side. This may seem a little bit odd to you, and so we're going to look at the number 9 to see how 9 makes a square.
All right, I'm going to count out 9 counters. And to make this into a square, I am going to make 3 rows of 3 counters. And so when I do that, you can see that I have the same length on all sides, making this a square number.
Today, we're going to learn and investigate more about what makes a square number by taking a list of numbers and determining whether they're square or not. You are going to need basically just a piece of paper to record your findings, and a pile of something that you can use to count out numbers. You can use beans, you can use counters like I've been using, you can use tiles, you can use bottle caps, anything that you have a lot of that are the same size as each other in your house can be used for this investigation. So go gather your materials and then let's meet back here and we're going to start to investigate what makes a square number. All right, now we have all of our materials and we can start our investigation. We're going to start with the number 7. So you are going to count out 7 objects. Do you think we're going to be able to make a square with the number 7? A solid square with the number 7. Let's go ahead and find out.
So here I have my 7 counters, and I'm going to start playing with them to see if I can get them into a square. And pretty quickly, I'm realizing that it's probably not going to happen. I seem to always have this 1 or 2 counters that I just can't get into the square. And so 7 is not a square number. The next number is going to be 10. You can pause the video and try this on your own and then check yourself with me, or you can just watch along. So I count out my 10 counters and I start to try to arrange them. I was thinking that maybe this would be a square number since it's an even number, but it seems like I cannot get it into an equal number of rows and columns or have it be the same length on all sides. So I am going to say that this is also not a square number. The next number is 4. You can pause and make a guess as to whether it is square or do it yourself. Here I counted out my 4 counters and it's pretty obvious right off the bat that I can just arrange them 2 and 2 and I have a little square. The next one is 25. And again, you can pause and try to guess or do it on your own. This is a lot of counters. It's going to take me a while to get them all out. And it's going to take me a long time to rearrange them and see if I can get them into a square. If you're catching on to what makes a square by this point, it may be a little bit easier for you. I'm going to try out a few different ways. And then finally, I can see that if I use 5 rows of 5, 25 will make a square. All right, our last number is 16. I want you to try this one on your own. Pause and then come back. And I'm going to count out my 16 counters and start arranging them. And I'm going to start to see that 4 rows of 4 make 16, which makes it a square number.
Notice about the square numbers that we've made so far. Did you notice that for 25, it was 5 rows of 5? Did you notice that for 4, it was 2 rows of 2? And for 9, the one we did all the way at the beginning, it was 3 rows of 3. Do you think it's the same for all square numbers up until infinity? What do you think? What do you notice? What do you wonder? Now that we've learned what a square number is, I want you to challenge yourself to try to find at least one more square number that we didn't talk about today. And remember that a square number is a number that we can make a square with when we're making rows and columns. What is something that you want to remember about square numbers? I want to hear about it in the comments. And I will see you next time for another STEAM video activity.